What's up, you guys? Welcome to the June 9th edition of NBA 3-Ball, presented by Established to Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, getting ready to preview the one-game slate for today, do a little recap of the Tuesday action. Going to kick it off with some injury news on the Nuggets side. We've got Will Barton doubtful. Mike Malone kind of opened the door he could play, so it does get the doubtful tag, probably one more. This is kind of what we were thinking, right? Miss a couple games, go from there. If they're 1-1, maybe they play him. They don't. If they lose this one, maybe he plays in Game 3. We'll see. Has gone through multiple practices. And then also, mild surprise, MPJ does get the Q tag for the back issue, which is why he didn't close, according to Mike Malone. Said he was kind of protecting him for what he expects to be a long series. Don't forget he had a back injury earlier in his career, so certainly want to be careful with that. Definitely keep an eye on that. J. Mike closed in his place, but again, sounds like he's going to play. Just be aware of that. Injury risk if you're going to use MPJ. He's pretty much not cash viable. So let's talk a little bit of preview and recap in the context of Game 1. Just kind of going over what happened. And Joker got some shots, 23 shots, pretty well-rounded stat line. And I went through all the video of it, and I thought he got good looks. A lot of settling for jumpers, especially late in the game. Looked a little tired, so we didn't see him roll that much to the basket. It was a lot of pick and pop stuff. So I think Joker's, if he could kind of keep it going again, I think he's in a pretty good spot here. The minutes would certainly be there. And they didn't really double him. It was a lot of Ayton kind of facing up and one-on-one defending him. And he did a pretty good job as well. But I do think Joker's in a pretty good spot. Also, MPJ, besides that, didn't really get good looks from the defense. Mikal Bridges was on him. Only had 3 points on him. Just one wide open look per the tracking data. Face tight defense on 6 of 8 shots. So just horrible looks for him. So keep an eye on him. Again, I wouldn't play him, and JaMychal Green would be the play if you want to leverage against him. JaMychal Green picked up 14 second-half minutes because of that. Monte Morris also did have 9 potential assists, just struggled with his shot overall. Still handed the ball a bunch, got matched up with Campaign. I expect a much better game from him today. Facu really dominated the minutes, partially because of the bad Monte game. After Monte was really cutting into him. It was like the worst Monte game ever after he killed the Blazers. So expect him to cut back into Facu there. Rivers would have to worry about Barton, but I thought he played pretty well. Guarded Booker a decent bit. Aaron Gordon also guarded him. And Mike Malone really tucked up Gordon. So Gordon should be a pretty decent factor. They certainly need that size after what the Suns did to them. Suns side of this, there's so much they dominated in. Overall, their starters outplayed the other Nuggets starters. 121 O rating for their starters. And just overall, the offense at half court was sharp. 125 per 100 possessions for them in this game. They've been great all along. And the other thing, too, is the Nuggets had no transition. Only 11.2% of their possessions were in transition. That's a thing the Suns really try to do. When they're playing well, teams can't run on them, and that was great to see to set the tempo there. Nuggets did get shots at the rim and took a lot of threes, so it was a good kind of shot chart for them. So it should be a pretty high-scoring game. 29 catch-and-shoot threes also for the Nuggets. So, again, they set up pretty well offensively. Specific stuff, the headline for the shooting is just even opportunities for all 5 starters, ranging from just 17.5 as the low man, DeAndre Ayton, and Devin Booker as the high man at just 22.6. That's really tightly packed usage. And it's the 4th highest usage rate for Devin Booker on the season. Certainly expect more of it. Did run the offense, 8 assists. I thought he looked really good. Did get a lot of Austin Rivers and Aaron Gordon on him. I thought they defended him pretty well. So probably a better outlook there. But if the Suns' offense is clicking the way it does, then maybe there's not the biggest upside for him. CP3 playing 36 minutes was a big deal. 12-minute stint for a full quarter. Just the 3rd time he's done it in the playoffs where he's played a full quarter. So certainly looking healthier. Good to see the shots coming along there. Had a lot of Facu on him, so he doesn't have that kind of size disadvantage there. Definitely think CP3 is healthy. So the stat line shows right, 21, 6, and 11 on pretty good aggressive shooting, left open a lot, so really ample opportunity here. And DeAndre Ayton, another guy who just played great. They really mixed it up. It wasn't the old dump it into Ayton and let him go. He only had 10 paint touches. They ran him in more high screen and roll stuff, got him the ball that way, had some little jumpers, little dunker spot stuff. It was really good stuff from Ayton. Again, defended really well, avoided foul trouble. Great start for him. And obviously, Mikal Bridges was just tremendous in the second half, big third quarter. Did have MPJ on him, and MPJ possibly being limited again sets up Mikal Bridges even better. So I really think Bridges is in a really good spot. Jay Crowder should see some time. We had that Cam overlap for 7 minutes, so he's definitely a guy that could be in play here too. Sixers even up the series here at the center, and really the hero, unsurprising here, is Shake Milton. After the Hawks bench didn't score in the first half, Shake kind of gets dusted off, comes up with 14 huge points to really establish that second unit. Just great stuff from Shake, who was playing his worst basketball really since he kind of came into the mix, so that was really awesome to see. Ben Simmons, horrendous offensive game, missed his 2 free throws. Actually got yanked late in the game for free throws. Doc said he didn't want to risk them fouling him, so they thought to just take him out as they got 2 minutes, which he got kind of mad about a couple of days ago, saying, you don't know basketball if you're taking Ben out. So interesting stuff. We saw some Philly beat writers kind of take some cheat shots at Doc, and obviously it's kind of bad that I mentioned Joel Embiid like third here. He's just 40 points from Embiid is just the way it goes now. He's just going to feast. Couldn't compel, can't guard him. Doesn't matter who guards him. Moves around really well. 35 minutes. Played pretty late in the game that he didn't need to. I mean, this game was over, and he was still playing a minute or two too much. So great to see there. Tobias Harris, really hot start. And Seth Curry also really good offense. He has a 72 shooting in the regular season when he plays with Ben, Embiid, and Tobias. Gets great looks, great dribble stuff he's been doing. Seth, man, just a really key part of this offense. Just to keep it functioning, they could hide him on defense. So yeah, Sixers. We mentioned it on the 3-man that taking the Sixers series bet at what it was -110 at one point. I think that's still looking like a great bet. Whatever it's at right now, I still think it's pretty good. I think that Philly has a really big edge here despite their poor road record over the years. Hawks side of this, Kevin Huerter really comes up big. Solomon Hill got cut down to 8 minutes as Huerter just was unleashed. Was really their best player. Drops 20, a couple blocks, hits some threes. He's probably going to just start if DeAndre Hunter doesn't play. Travis Schlenk said earlier they didn't want to risk his long-term health in 5 to 10 years. Didn't play. Does get 2 more games off. Again, this knee thing is not going away for him, so wouldn't be surprised if he shuts it down, which, again, would really open up Huerter, who's going to need to play a bunch. I mean, they made a mistake starting Solomon Hill for him to go -18 in 8 minutes. Got a really fast start for Philly here, so expect him to maybe even go away entirely if he can't defend Tobias Harris, who roasted him early here. Bogdan struggled. Trae Young got much better defense on him, wasn't able to get into the paint nearly as much, took a lot of tough shots from 3, still got the assist going, so not surprising. We expected a pretty big step back in regression to how he's been playing because he had so many favorable matchups and the mistake of Danny Green. Ben Simmons was on him a whole lot. Other than that, yeah, Gallo, pretty good minutes. John Collins playing a ton. We saw Nate McMillan really talk up his defense, so expect him to play pretty good amount here as he gets some small ball center minutes as well. Quickly on the Jazz beating the Clippers, man. Donovan Mitchell, cold in the first half, but comes out guns blazing with the 4-5, if you will, to paraphrase a Jay-Z line. Drops 45 points for him, thanks to a strong second half. Boyan comes up big. Gobert, big defensive effort late. And yeah, the starters really came through here without Mike Conley, so big win for the Jazz to kick off this series. Clippers side of this, yeah, just a mess. We saw an 11-man rotation early. DeMarcus Cousins got in the mix. Luke Kennard dominated the bench, led the bench in both scoring and minutes, 18 points from him. Paul George really couldn't get anything going inside. Got to the line, but just was not there. Kawhi, not himself either. Batum got his minutes cut down with a lot of perimeter offense going into the mix. Zubats did not do anything with his 20 minutes. It was a mess. Ty Lue needs to change the rotation. Expect some changes here. Maybe they go big early. Gobert got held in check, so probably start the same guys. But, I mean, yeah, they just toyed too much with guys. So should see some changes. Should be a mess. We'll see. Catch you next time.